All right, today I am actually switching out my reservoir tank for my coolant and going to a 4th Gen one. I got the 4th Gen reservoir, but the one I got from an actual junkyard was actually broken. They actually had the area where you clamp in the battery. It was trimmed off. I didn't notice it when I bought it. Shame on me. I've been sitting on this for a couple weeks now, and I just noticed on Amazon the price went down really cheap on those reservoir tanks, and they're like $30 brand new. So I went ahead and ordered one, got it here, and the first step you got to do is print out the template. There's a template on thirdgen.org. I'll include the link here. You print it out, you make sure you do full screen, and you cut it out, and then you're good to go. The good thing about this is it alleviates some area in your engine bay, and it gets rid of those stupid ugly tanks that I've been talking about this whole time. So I'll be doing that right now. So I'll kind of gonna show you what I'm going to be downloading, and I will show you how to cut the template out, and then I'll show you how to cut it out in the car. I know, I think I just saw a video, LSX Matt actually did a video on this prior to me getting mine out. So kind of worked out really well. I was going to do the same thing. I already had the same link, but I'll give him credit. He got the video out. It's really nice. Didn't really show him cutting out the hole, but it showed that after it was all done, and he did a really good job. So I hope mine turns out as good. All right, this is the reservoir I purchased from Amazon. It's a Dorman 603-116 fluid reservoir. The price is now $30. Very affordable. I recommend this over than going to the junkyard and picking one out. Alright. On thirdgen.org, this is the actual forum for where I got the template. And you can kind of search for it just by putting this in. You can kind of see some of the templates here. This is the one I went ahead and downloaded and I used for my car, and it worked perfect. After you download it, this is what it looks like. I went ahead and just printed it as it is, and it worked for me. So I didn't have to make any changes on the settings. I hit print and it was good to go. I already have the template, so I'm going to need to use that one. And I will pick up in the garage. Alright, I'm using these little foam mats. My wife does scrapbooking, so it's kind of nice to have someone that does that kind of stuff inside the house. So I'll use that, and one of these little X-Acto knives. It's probably really expensive, I don't know. Anyway, I'll go ahead and start cutting it out. Alright, I have the design cut out, but this is the reservoir right here. This is the brand new one. This actually has a lip on it to hold the battery down. And you actually have a separate little mount here, so you have an idea. What you're trying to do is get the circumference of this right here in a template, so you can put it on the bottom of your tray in the car, and then cut it out. So let's see how this turned out. Well, it doesn't look right. Okay, I think this is right. Anyway, cut out the middle, and essentially this should slide up with ease. Okay, good. It's a pretty tight fit. Goes all around, and that way it'll sit in the well just fine. Well, there's a little bit of room. That's fine. Now the trick is to orientate this inside the car where this is going to work. You can't just slap it down with using this and, you know, like that, and just expect it to work. You got to make sure you give yourself enough room on the neck and make sure that this is all straight. So that's going to be a little trickier, and we'll figure that out right now. Okay, this is where we're actually putting this unit. Obviously, this is the tank that I do not like. It's ugly, and the idea is this will go in here straight like this, down here, and we can eliminate this all together. So I will go ahead and just remove this for now and prep this little area for cutting. I'll get the template in there, and then I'll kind of give you a little view what it looks like down here before I cut it out. Alright, so there's a 10mm bolt in the wheel well right here, and generally there's another one further in there. Basically, just unscrew those and pop them out. I went ahead and did that off camera, and again, you kind of get an idea of how much it opens up in the engine bay as soon as you remove this thing. Another reason why I want to get rid of it is so nasty in there. I know there's a way of cleaning it out, but I have not gotten to that yet. I'll probably do a video on something like that for another container. But that's removed. I'll go ahead and remove it from a little spigot later, but I don't want to do it right now. And then as soon as you remove that, kind of get an idea what's in here. There's a bunch of wiring in here, obviously. Some dip ties, maybe clean them out. I took the battery out earlier, but kind of got an idea where this is all going to go. First things first, you do want to remove all these wires out of the way so you don't cut them. I'm probably going to hook this ground and move these wires out of the way so I don't hurt them. Okay, now that I have all the wires out of there, I just wanted to show you the old one that I got from the shop. You see how there's no ledge here to hold the battery in. It looked like it was cut off. I didn't notice it before, but it should look like this with a little overhang right here. You also notice that this one has the actual piping in here that comes with it. This hose has seen better days. I will be replacing the hose, but I am going to use this metal pipe fitting and this little insert in here. I'll figure out how to get that out. And I was thinking, because this is already trash, just as a point of reference, I could use the template and kind of put it in here, or I could cut this off. So I'm going to go ahead and take this thing out right now, try to clean it up, see what it looks like. Alright, so I went ahead and removed these from the other reservoir tank. I cleaned it up with my wire wheel. It had a lot of corrosion on here. You can still see it kind of eating away. And this basically goes through here. And this new one does not come with a grommet here. So basically you shove this in there first, shove this in there, and then you have a nice little deal here. I am not going to put this in yet until I get the new hose. I want to get a new hose before I put that in there because it has to go through here and all that good stuff. So I'm going to do that first. Probably go down to the store, grab some more heater hose. The hose I have on my other one isn't long enough, so I'll have to get some more. So anyway, I'll probably put that hose on here first, put a clamp on it, and then put these in here. Actually, I can put this in here now. Alright, so on my old one, I went ahead and just cut this off to see how this thing lines up, to make sure I cut the hole right. Something you gotta take in caution is this tray kind of sits where your old tray goes, and then this is where the oval shape is on the outside, and that's where you have to cut. So you don't want to just go in the middle of your tray and cut the oval. You actually have to cut on the side over here. I'll kind of show you here and how it kind of sits in here. I haven't done any cutting yet, but I just wanted to kind of show you how it goes in here. So you can kind of see how this kind of lines up with your old battery tray, and you can almost see where the battery hold downs are right where they need to be. So what you should do is cut off this little sidewall right here first, and you'll have some of this hanging over into the fender well before you cut up your battery tray. Just some helpful hints here, because I didn't really see any of that in a couple of videos I watched, so I wanted to point that out before you just start setting a template in here and expecting to cut out right here, which is not what you need to do. You need to cut more on this side over here and cut this little bridge out right here. So I'll go ahead and cut this out first, just this little section, and then see how it lines up in there after that. And I kind of set it in there. This is roughly where it's going to sit. I'm going to kind of go a little bit further on this side, and make sure that we have enough room for it to kind of move around and stuff. But essentially it'll kind of bolt right here and a bolt over here to hold it all in there. But just so you have an idea of where it sits in reference to the tray, so when you cut it out, it fits in there nicely. Okay, so I've cut the hole inside the battery tray area. I want to let you guys know what I used. I used obviously a grinder, I used a flap disc and a cutting wheel. On this I kept having to switch them out, and I used an air tool, had more of a better angle to get in there. This obviously wasn't that strong to get the thick metal out, but I'll kind of go over where I cut in here. It's just, I spent a couple hours doing this, so I didn't want to film it all. I know a couple of you have mentioned that my videos are too long, so I tried cutting out what I could out. So, that being said, it fits in here really nicely. The only thing I have to do now is drill a hole right here, and this hole right here doesn't quite line up, so I'm going to drill a hole there and bolt that in as well. This is the feed for reservoir for the water to come from here down here, and it kind of comes through here. So anyway, kind of got the idea. And I have enough room to get the cap on and off. I tried that as well, just so you guys are aware. It is a tight fit, but I'm okay with it. So let's go ahead and go over the parts that we cut out. So you have an idea what the template looked like when it was taped in there. It kind of went in here roughly like that. You may have noticed that it's a lot bigger than what I had cut out, but so you're aware, through this hole right here, it fits the cone of the bottom of this thing. This bottom piece fits literally right between this gap and this gap. Perfect. So I just want to make you guys aware. We cut right here. There's actually a couple of holes right here, so it kind of squared it out so it's not like a round area. Cut along here. You have to cut out the little tray holder that was right here out. So I cut it right here, bent it, and broke it out. I had to cut up here, all over here, cut over here, and then this is part of the original frame right here, and it's original right here. But I did have to cut out a piece right here, as you can see, to make room for the cap. It's not the prettiest, but it works. I think that's why a lot of people don't show their work, because it looks kind of like a hack job. But anyway, the fitment's really nice. I'm really happy with it. So next steps, again, I do got to drill a hole right here, drill a roll hole right here, fasten the thing down, and then we are good. All right, now that I have it bolted in, I just have the one bolt in right now until I get the actual battery in there, and then I'll clamp it down with that. Now it's time to get the overflow hose tube connected. I have two different kinds. I didn't know how long I needed, so I got this 2-footer, and then I got 4 feet. So we'll see if that's enough. And then I drop my hose. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here and go from there. So if you ever see this, you want to do this. This end is outside where the hose clamps onto. This is the drain tube, goes straight into the reservoir itself. I recommend putting this all together first before dropping it.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
All right, now it's time to throw the battery in here and finish it up. Okay, so this concludes my 4th gen reservoir swap on a 3rd gen. Battery's installed. I have to get a longer bolt that'll go through and tie this down, but everything lines up great. The battery's in a better spot. It's square. It's somewhat tied in right now. And I don't have a big ugly tank sitting right there. And I can now get rid of this big ugly thing. So that is it. I am super happy with this. It did take a day to do it for me just because I kind of went and did other things, but I'm actually really happy with it. I think the engine bay looks really good. So if you do have any comments or have any suggestions on how to do this better, please let me know. I'm open for feedback, so comment, like, subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.